This project demonstrates how to implement a multi-environment GitOps workflow using ArgoCD. The goal is to manage application deployment across development, staging, and production environments in a consistent, automated, and scalable way. At the core of the project is the idea that Git is the single source of truth. Each environment is defined and controlled through separate configuration stored in the repository. Any change to the system is performed by updating Git, and ArgoCD automatically synchronizes those changes to the Kubernetes cluster. The repository is structured to clearly separate concerns. The app directory contains reviewable application definitions, while the environment directory defines environment-specific configurations. This design allows the same application to be deployed across multiple environments with different settings without duplicating code. A key pattern used in the project is the app-of-apps approach. Instead of deploying each application manually, a single root application is created in ArgoCD. This root application manages and deploys on-child application for each environment. As a result, the system becomes easier to scale, manage, and maintain. This project also introduced the concept of environment isolation, ensuring that each environment operates independently with its own configuration and namespace. In addition, it demonstrated a promotion workflow where changes are promoted from dev to staging to production through control update in Git rather than manual deployment commands. By completing this project, you will gain practical experiences in building a production-ready GitOps system, including how to structure repositories, manage multiple environments, and automate deployments using ArgoCD. Overall GitOps flow. This project demonstrates a complete GitOps workflow using ArgoCD as the control plane. The entire system is designed around a simple but powerful idea. All deployments are driven by Git. At a high level, the flow starts from a Git repository that stores both application definitions and environment configuration. ArgoCD continuously monitors this repository and ensures that the actual state in Kubernetes always matches the design state defined in Git. From ArgoCD, deployments are automatically propagated to multiple environments, including development, staging, and production. Each environment is isolated and independently managed. But app-of-apps flow. The deployment process begins by applying a root application to ArgoCD. In this step, a single command registers the root application. This acts as the entry point for the entire system. Instead of deploying workflow directly, the root application points to the environment directly in Git. Once ArgoCD reads this configuration, it scans all environment folders and automatically creates trial applications for each environment. These trial applications are managed inside the ArgoCD namespace and represent the actual deployable unit. This pattern, known as app-of-apps, allows you to manage multiple applications and environments in a centralized and scalable way. 2. Deployment flow per environment. Each environment follows the same deployment logic but uses different configurations. For example, in the dev environment, ArgoCD reads the Helm chart from the app directory and combine it with the values YAML file from environment/dev. The Helm chart is then render into Kubernetes manifest and deploy into the that namespace. The same process applies to staging and production, but with different configuration. For instance, staging may use more replicate and different methods, while production use stable version and higher resource settings. This approach ensures consistency across environments while still allowing flexibility through configuration override. 3. End-to-end flow. For a broader perspective, the system works as a continuous loop. First, developer push change to the Git repository. This change can include update to application code, container image, or environment configuration. Next, ArgoCD detects these changes and synchronizes them automatically. It updates the responding applications, render the Helm chart, and apply the change to the correct Kubernetes namespace. Each environment is deployed independently but on are managed through the same centralized control plane. Demo flow. This demo walks through the complete process of setting up a local Kubernetes environment and deploying application using ArgoCD. The goal is to simulate a real GitOps workflow across multiple environments, including development, staging, and production. Step 1. Open Docker Desktop. First, make sure Docker Desktop is running. It provides the container runtime required for running a local Kubernetes cluster. Without Docker, the cluster cannot start properly. Step 2. Start Kubernetes cluster. Next, start your local Kubernetes cluster using Minikube. You can run the different commands. Once complete, you will have a fully functional local cluster ready for deployment. Step 3. Install ArgoCD after the cluster is up. Step 3. Install ArgoCD after the cluster is up. Install ArgoCD into a dedicated namespace called ArgoCD. First, create the namespace. Then install ArgoCD using the official manifest. This step sets up the entire ArgoCD control plane inside your cluster. Step 4. Access ArgoCD UI to interact with ArgoCD. Expose its web interface using port forwarding. Then open your browser and go to localhost on AT&T. Log in using the default credentials. Username, admin, password. Retry using the command below. After logging in, you will see the ArgoCD dashboard where all applications are managed. Step 5. Deploy application. Now it's time to deploy application using the GitOps approach. Instead of deploying each environment manually, you apply a root application for each environment. This root application will automatically create and manage own child applications. Once applied, ArgoCD will read the configurations from your Git repository, discover environment-specific application, automatically deploy them to correct namespace. Summary. In the demo, you set up a local Kubernetes cluster using Minikube. Next, install and access ArgoCD. Next, deploy application using GitOps model. Next, manage multiple environments through root application. Flow reflects how modern systems handle deployment in a fully automated, scalable, and production-ready way.